Today is the day that I took care of the last of my mother's business. This is her house. This is the last place she was at. I had to turn in her keys and show them her death certificate. And of course, her friends was in the lobby and just talking about my mother in past tense. And just seeing how others loved my mother. I knew that this was going to be hard. And them just talking about little things such as her sitting and drinking coffee, and I was telling one of her friends, I'm like, my mother still is around, she still visits. And he was like, she sit on my couch every day. I didn't want today to be like this. I look cute, and now I'm sitting here crying. I'm going to keep saying this. Be kind, be gentle with yourself, and give yourself enough time. Because this is hard. This is my mama's house. This is the home she wanted to come to. This was the last place she was alive at. And I'm not here to pick her up or do something for her. I gotta go, y'all.
Hey, welcome to Let's Glow with Nini. I'm Nini, and let's get straight into this video.
Dealing with aging parents is going to be one of the hardest experiences you go through. They might be dealing with health challenges. They might be on a really difficult journey of having to make some big life decisions and changes to require care to make sure that they're safe. And they're leaning into you to help guide the process. In the same breath that they're leaning into you, they're also resisting. So much resistance. 3 ways in which you can overcome this is, number 1, taking responsibility for the role that you now play. Yes, you used to lean into your parents, look up to them, ask for their advice. Well, the roles have now changed, and you have to kind of put a parent hat on and help them make better decisions, quality of life decisions that you know will help keep them safe, will protect them, and really give them a good quality of life. So take responsibility for that role. Number 2 is getting a hold of your emotions, literally getting a hold of your emotions, because it's an emotional journey and you're spiraling out of control sometimes. You're upset. You might be resentful. You're pissed off because they're not listening to you and they're making it so hard, right? You have your own life to live, but they're making this really difficult. Get a hold of your emotions. Trust that you are the anchor. Be the foundation for them. Be the certainty. Be the reassurance for them. That's who they need you to be. So control and get a hold of those emotions. And lastly, the third thing that you don't want to have to do, but you must do, make the decisions. Find a way, make the decisions, trust yourself, let them trust you, and move forward.
The hard way about taking care of my aging parents for the last 3.5 years. 1, it's hard. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be. I basically thought it would be running to some doctor's appointments, running some errands, paying a few bills, and then when they passed, getting rid of all their stuff. But it has been so much more than that. Being old is very complicated. There's lots of paperwork, there's lots of things to keep track of, doctor's visits, prescriptions, medical equipment, therapy visits, home health aid people. The finances are more difficult. Insurance, Medicare. The second thing I learned, and this surprised me, because I always thought my parents were on top of everything, but it surprised me how unprepared they were for their situation. I realized how many things they had neglected. Mainly their estate planning documents, which were incomplete or out of date. Or financial accounts. They just had way too many of them. It made it very complicated. It made it hard to keep track of. And it could have been simplified a long time ago. And those things have caused me hours of work, tons of stress. So if you're in this position, you're an aging parent or the child of an aging parent, this account is going to be about what I've learned over these 3+ years. And I'm going to share it so that other people can avoid these costly mistakes.
This is one of these issues that even transcends the Alzheimer's issue.
Yeah.
It's, dealing with aging parents,
Yeah,
period.
very much
I
so.
mean, it was, one of the challenges with my mom who, again, was always independent, but there was a level of pride in her. And even though we had the resources,
Yeah.
she resented the help that we were. And so then I found myself sort of in a reverse parent-child relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Because getting her to stick to the diet she was supposed to have, or, trying to make sure that she was being nice to the caregivers. I could empathize with her, feeling like she wanted to maintain as much control, but she was making it hard. And this is with resources. So a lot of families are dealing with this kind of stress of aging parents not really being able to let go. And doing it because they don't want to be a burden in their minds.
Absolutely. Yes, but don't realize how much harder they're making it emotionally for people by not getting help and just pride is a tough thing sometimes. I think, and sometimes makes things better and sometimes makes things worse.
Do you ever feel like you're running on empty because you're caring for somebody else? Because same. People say caregiving is rewarding, but when the person you're caring for is a parent who wasn't very nice to you as a child, it's hard to keep your emotions in check. I didn't realize how much of myself I was actually giving until I started to feel empty, like really empty. We try to give our best because we love them, right? But who's there to fill us back up? Some days you're so busy caring for their needs that you don't even recognize yours anymore. It's like I have this constant checklist in my head and there's no room on it for me. Then you probably feel guilty for feeling like you need a break. But let me tell you, it's okay. And it's okay to admit it. If you're a caregiver, like this video so I can know I'm not alone in this. Also, leave a comment and let me know how you recharge because I need some help.
Y'all don't know stress until y'all had to take care of elderly parents. When I tell you, them the most hard-headed, them motherfuckers so hard-headed, they don't listen to nothing you got to say. They worse than kids. They say when you get old, when your parents get old, it's like you taking care of kids, like the roles reversed. That's so damn true. I've been in the house with my mom and dad. Them is my damn kids. Them is my damn kids. I'm trying to make sure they eat, make sure they take their medicine, make sure they do this, make sure they do that. It's a full-time job. I am the parent. I'm the parent now. The roles are reversed. Don't let anybody tell you different. When your parents get old and you got to take care of them, that's a challenging part of your life. That's gonna be one of the most challenging parts of your life, taking care of your elderly parents. Because when I tell you they don't listen, it's worse than having kids. It's worse. If you say up is down, if you say hot is cold, they hard-headed. They don't listen to nothing. Somebody help me.
I'm a frustrated daughter of an elderly parent who really is just frustrated because I want to make my mom's life better in her, these years that she has left. She's 82 years old. I see her sitting in front of a TV all day long, day after day after day. This is all she does. She's not interested in doing any of the things that I suggest to her. If I go, she's fine. Like, if I take her to the hairdressers and things like that, she's fine. But if I suggest, like, hey, maybe, I should get somebody to come to your house 3 times a week to help you with things around the house. She has somebody who comes once a week. But I don't think it's enough. I think she needs more interaction. Because I can't just be every single source for her. Like, I need help. And I'm like, I'll get somebody to come 3 times a week. She can help you with dinners and meal preparation, wash your clothes, do things, maybe take you to lunch, like things that she can do. And every single thing that I suggest, it's a no. And I struggle with it because I'm like, why? I don't understand why. It's just very frustrating, and it has completely drained me for the last couple of days because she's been sick, so I had to take her to the doctor. But the conversations are just so sideways. I don't know.
The strain of caring for your aging parents or sick parents is hard. It is challenging, and you're going to need support. And so that support may not come from your family, but it's so important for you to consider what things you can do to be well. So some of the things that I have faced. So as someone who has been taking care of my mom since I was around 18 years old, I'll be 38 next year. So we're talking 2 decades of learning experiences, right? So it can be emotionally draining, and it's a huge strain on your emotions because this is your loved one. This is your parent. This person has been there for you through your childhood, has seen you potentially through adulthood, depending on which age you are when your parents become ill. But in my situation, my mom was the one that was encouraging me to join the band. My mom was rooting for me. I became the National Honor Society president in high school. I was senior class president. I was a cheerleader. I was in the band. Like, the list goes on and on and on of the ways that my mother supported me. So not only are you dealing with a role reversal, which is challenging, you're also dealing with the grief of the person that you used to know is no longer that same person, because now they need you to help them. It is emotionally draining. And I highly encourage you to make sure that you have someone that you can talk to. In my situation, I didn't always feel like it was my family. Some of that was my own chip on my own shoulder, frustration, because I wanted people to care for my mom the same way that I wanted to care for her. And some of it was people just weren't showing up, right in the middle, but no need to point fingers. So in knowing that you may have family members that may not help you all, I'm here to tell you, create your own support system. I have had line sisters that have shown up for my mom in ways that her family hasn't, and that's just the reality. Be it their own experiences, everyone has the right to do what they want to do. So if you found yourself in this situation, no fault of your own, you love your parents, you want to be there for them, you want to help them. Please, please make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people that can support you. Sometimes that support looks like individual support for you, but in knowing yourself, if you feel like you have yourself taken care of and you truly need support for your loved one, your parent, find those ways. It could be through church. It could be through some type of, now government assistance is not going to give you.
A lot of y'all may disagree with me on this one, and that's okay. But if at any time I become incapacitated, or when I get older and I become completely dependent, I can't do anything for myself, I do not want my kids taking care of me. And what I mean when I say that is, it's not that I don't trust my kids to take care of me. I just don't want them to take care of me. I work in the hospital, and family members tend to vent to you a lot. From my observation, from what I've seen, every person I've seen in that position, they look miserable as hell. They look miserable and overwhelmed. They have no social life. Their life revolves around taking care of their family member, their mother or their father, whichever it may be. I don't want that life for my kids. If you look at my videos, I always say how I want my kids to travel the world, enjoy their life, have the least responsibilities. So I don't want that. Like, I birthed my kids. My kids didn't ask to be here. They don't owe me nothing. That's how I feel. They don't owe me shit. I'm not, I don't want to cook it for something that I was supposed to do. Everything I'm doing, I'm supposed to do that. And when I get up to that age, I've been and did my job. This is not fucking hot potato. I pass the potato to you, and now it's your turn to take care of me. Like, I took care of you. Now it's time for you to take care of me. No, I don't think like that. My kids don't owe me shit. All I ask is that they put me in do their homework on the nursing facility or the nursing home, and come visit your girl 4 or 5 days out the week. Come make me laugh, because 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna need it. But yeah, just don't abandon me. But I don't want them taking care of me. The only way I will move in with my kids is if I can still do for myself. If I can still move around, cook for myself, all that. I'm completely independent. They just don't want me at home by myself. That's the only way I will move in with them. But if I can move in with them and I can't do nothing for myself, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I don't want that. I don't want that life for them. It seems that's too much to put on your plate. And then on top of that, to have a family and doing that, I take my hat off to the people who do it. But I don't want I don't want that life for my kids. They don't owe me shit, and I don't want no cookie for some shit that I'm supposed to do. Everything I do, I'm supposed to do that. I don't need no damn award for it. So, yeah, I know a lot of people gonna disagree on that, but this is a hill I'm willing to die on. My kids don't owe me shit, and I don't want them taking care of me. That life looks miserable as hell, and miserable is the last thing I want for my kids.
This is for caregivers and caregivers only, and I'm talking about caregivers of adults, primarily parents. If you saw any of my previous videos, or at least one of them, rather, I think I only talked about it one time. I was talking about my biological mother and the situation going on with her, aging, disabilities, and also some mental issues, if we're keeping it 100. And so she was in a behavior health center in a local city, and I knew eventually they would call me and say that she would have to be released and she would need somewhere to go. Now, mind you, in 2015, I tried to take care of my mom, and it was not a good situation. We were in an apartment in VA. It was a luxury apartment. I was in the military at the time, and I went to Columbus, Georgia to pick her up, and I moved her in, and I felt really, really good about the situation. I felt like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I understood, or at least I thought I understood, that this was going to be something new to manage, but I felt that I was confident that I'll be able to do it. Fast forward, we get to VA, get settled in. My chain of command knows what's going on. And I like to tell this story by saying, when I went to work in the morning to go to the office, she went to work. Meaning that she would knock on people's doors, asking for beer, cigarettes, money, rides to the store. She would go into my drawers and take my debit card and any credit cards that she found. I think I had a PayPal card at that time. She would take it and walk to the gas station. And I remember one time even being called by somebody at the gas station. They called me from the gas station. It was like, hey, your mom is here begging for cigarettes, sitting outside the store, soliciting, and she got to go. Embarrassing to say the least. You have no clue. But I think I'm better with being embarrassed by her now, because I'm like, this is her life and she's not a direct reflection of me. Anyway, with that experience in 2015, it made it difficult for me to want to go through that again, because my life is in a totally different space now. I enjoy my life. My life is very peaceful. I have things in place or whatever. And I also have a family now. It's different. I was single then, didn't have a family. It was just me. But because one, it was the right thing to do, and two, she didn't have any other place to go. Literally no place. She would have been homeless. And the thing is, before she went to that place, she was in a place where she was getting room and board and meals, and me and my sister was like, yes, thank you. And she got kicked out, y'all. Kicked out. And it's just so 3 weeks ago now, we moved her in. I moved her in, and it's been difficult. I have no motivational, inspirational, it's hard. It is very hard, because you're dealing with, in my situation, you're dealing with someone who is aging. So they don't get around as well, can't do a lot of things, getting around on the walk. On top of that, a long track record of substance abuse, on top of cognitive issues as well, bipolar, schizophrenia. And so it's a lot. Like literally downstairs right now, my mom is talking to a dead lady. Somebody that's dead, that's been deceased for years. She's saying that she's here talking to her, taking her clothes. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is moving her from one system to bringing her to Fulton County, which is Atlanta, and trying to get her enrolled, to get her medication has been hell. Those systems are outdated. It's hard. Like even to get her mental medicine, I had to go through 3 different appointments. Intake, you can't do that on the phone, can't do it online. You got to come in to do intake, fill out a paperwork. Then for them to give you a date to meet with somebody to talk about your intake form, for you then to get an appointment with the doctor, and then come back the next day for the medicine. And then on top of that, the behavioral health place doesn't manage the other medication, which is hypertension, just all other stuff that she's taking. And then on top of that, that place doesn't manage another particular medicine that she has to have, which she has to go to an appointment tomorrow. So it's been that on top of, I don't know, like, it's hard. It's just hard. And even getting her benefits and all of that stuff is very difficult. Like, so shout out to anybody that's been doing this for a while. I feel you. I feel for you. And then you also start to deal with the possibility of them going to the nursing home and the grief that follows that, because you're like, am I just punting them off in a system? Should I inconvenience my life for their well-being? And then the other side of that is, well, you can't provide all that they need, right? Because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. And I'm trying to manage medications and manage a diet and all of these things. And it's rough. It's rough. So I'm just putting this out on TikTok. 1, to vent and release. 2, to put information about, things that people go through in life, especially millennials. We're getting that age now where our parents are getting older, and you have some of those individuals who are no longer able to take care of themselves. What do you do? And it's not always easy just to take somebody in, depending on your situation, what you got going on. And then you add other factors to that. It's very difficult. So Y'all pray for me, right? This is a transitional season. This is a season of pivot. And I realize all of that, but it doesn't take away from things being hard. And that's another thing. I'm realizing that it's okay to say something is hard, and it's hard. And it's also okay not to have a motivational scripture quote behind it. It's hard, but I know the Lord. No, it's just hard right now. It's just hard right now. And being okay with it being hard until it gets better. And when it gets better, I'll say it's better. But right now it's difficult, it's hard. And so shout out to those on TikTok who this video will run across. I feel your pain. Your situation may be slightly different, but it still requires so much of you. And lucky for me that I have a lot of time freedom due to my particular work and decisions that I've made. So I can't imagine somebody that has to go to work and still care for parents and kids. And
do not put your parents in a retirement home. Do this instead. Wait, so now the government is willing to pay you up to $72,000 for you to take care of your parents? Yep, that's true. Wow, how come? Well, the average cost of assisted living homes is $60,000 per year. That's very expensive. And the government doesn't want to pay that, so they came up with another program. It's called the Consumer Directed and Personal Assistance Program. This program allows your parents to hire a caregiver of their choice. So they could just hire a family member? Exactly. They just have to hire you as a personal caregiver. And once they do that, you get paid directly from the government. States like New York pay up to $72,000 per year. Now, the pay does vary per state, but the average amount is $42,000 per year. The name of the programs may be different, but also offer the same benefits. But here is a list that may help you. Wow, thank you so much. How did you even learn all this? I simply follow Humble King Kaz.
Caregivers, you've got to find a way to take care of yourself, and here are a few tips from my experiences. I was just talking to a friend who has become the caregiver to her mother. Those of us millennials, we're starting to become that group that is starting to take care of our parents. I was the caregiver to my mother a few years ago. She had open heart surgery, and it was a really emotionally taxing and stressful time for me. And I realized very quickly that if I didn't take care of me, I wouldn't be able to take care of her. So this is just a list of things that I gave to my friend to help her. I think these things are very practical, and I think sometimes when we're dealing with momentous seasons like that, we forget about the practical, but I hope this helps and can either remind you or give you some things to work on. Pardon my dog in the background. He's eating a treat. I'm keeping him occupied so I can get this recorded. First thing I would say is to support yourself as much as possible first thing in the morning. As soon as you wake up, there were 3 things that I would try to consume first thing so that I knew I was giving my body as much sustenance as possible in a really easy way. First thing is bone broth. You've seen me in my feed with the bone broth and everything. It's a nice way to support your gut health as well as keep your skin fresh and dewy. It helps when you look refreshed when you're looking in the mirror, you know? But it's also packed with protein, and in order to keep your stamina, you're going to need that. So bone broth is a really great option to sip. I just put it in a mug, keep it, warm it up, and sip it like you would tea. Speaking of tea, I also had a bit of green tea. It's great. It's got antioxidants in it. It's just another way to support your body. If you can get some raw honey, that's excellent too. Helps boost your immunity and supports your gut and things like that. The third, I would have a protein shake. See, I'm really focused here on protein. My favorite is Koya, Koia. I like the vanilla and the birthday cake flavors. So it's nice to be able to have something to grab. You can have it as a meal replacement or even just some additional support to your diet. It has vitamins in it, good things for you and for your body, as well as lots of protein. Second thing is to take a walk. You need the vitamin D and the sunshine and the fresh air. It's really healing to be out in nature as much as possible. Sometimes I would drive to a park that I really liked, and even if I couldn't walk very much because I was exhausted, I would just plant myself on a bench and just let the sun hit my face and breathe in the fresh air and just let my mind drift a bit. There's something really wonderful about the sun. It can kind of soak a lot of pain and stress and tension out of our bones if we just let it shine on us for a little bit. I'd also say to make your life as convenient as possible. On Sundays, I would do a little bit of a meal prep, just simple foods, some kind of protein, some type of veggie, some type of starch, put it in Tupperware so you have it for yourself. Things you can easily grab, you know. I would put the bone broth in mason jars so you can just grab a jar in the morning, heat it up on the stovetop or the microwave if you need to, and then have that ready to go. Have your meal prep meals ready to go. Your containers of your protein drink, Koya, that's my favorite one. But have it all lined up so you can just grab and without thinking you have what you need, prep as much as you can.
Hey, if you made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. Today's topic is on taking care of sick parents, being the caregiver, and seeing everything that everyone else does not see. This hits home for me because I currently take care of my mother. She is on dialysis as she has chronic kidney disease. She also has lupus. And every day is not a good day. Some days are better than others, but it's really hard to sit and watch your mother, the person you love, slowly deteriorate in front of your eyes. It's really hard, it's really sad, and it takes a lot. And I believe God placed this on me because I am the strong one in the family. I've been through a lot in my life to be able to handle this type of situation, to be responsible enough and to help her during this time. Though it's not easy on me, but I can handle it way better, I believe, than my siblings. Last night, my brother came and he actually seen my mom for the first time in her condition. You know, my family usually sees our mother, you know, on video chat when she's in a good state, when she's in a good mood and, you know, everything is good. But what they don't see is behind the scenes. And people will never understand what we go through as caregivers, dealing with people that are sick. If you are not actually there to see what's going on, it's very hard. It's stressful. It kind of takes away you from your own life. Like, I feel like I take care of my mom a lot, which I have no problem doing, but my social life is not really there anymore. I will see my family when I can, but it's not there as I would like it to. So I'm doing what I need to do to get back out there to also put myself first in this position. Yes, I love my mother and I want to see the best for her, but now I'm going to teach my brother how to also take care of my mom so he can also grow and mature as a man from no longer being a man, a boy, and now turning into a man. Sometimes we will be stuck in a place until we actually have to go through something really hard. And to see your mother sick, I believe it's going to be something that changes your mind state. It's going to grow you up real fast because a lot of people don't think about these things. We're so in the current moment and what we used to see, how we used to see our mother, and now it's going to change. So this is very hard, but I've taken this responsibility on, and I'm okay with that. I just want you guys to know that it's very hard out here. It's very stressful, and for people that have taken care of their parents and they have went to the past life now, I am very sorry for your loss. I am. And I pray that you are being strong as you can and taking every day at a time and crying, let it out. It's okay to cry. And be vulnerable and take as much time as you need because this type of pain never goes away. I already lost my dad at a young age, so I'm kind of used to death at this point. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it is very hard. So I'm going to make a few more of these videos because I feel like we don't talk about this enough. So I'll see you in the next video.